And again, hang on. Let me fix this. Hello. Don't mind me. I have technical difficulties. Okay, let's try this a different way. Hang on, guys. Let me try this a different way. Please tell me this is gonna work. I worked really hard to get this like a specific way. That's upside down. Let me see. Grr. I hope nobody's getting vertigo from my stupid mistake here. Don't mind me. This happens for. Does this happen to anybody else on YouTube where it like won't stream the way I want it to stream? Just me, huh? It works sometimes and not other times. It's really annoying. Anyway. I feel like such a novice right now. Anyway, welcome, welcome. Don't mind me. I've had a busy Mother's Day. I've been editing. I went shopping. I did a huge grocery haul. I've been tired. I've been with kids all day. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's what happens when you're a mom. And yeah, so hopefully everybody else had an amazing Mother's Day. And hopefully the moms out there and the mom-ish people and the dad moms, Mr. Moms, and the fur moms, and our heavenly moms, and everybody had a beautiful day filled with love and all that great fun stuff. So I spent the day trying to figure out how I wanted to do these readings, and I kind of wanted to have like some type of Mother's Day like input to them or emphasis to them, and I couldn't come up with anything. Like I was gonna do the reading to be like, you know, how to improve, you know, your relationship with your mom, or how does your mom feel, or like how can you better things with your, I don't know. It was ridiculous, but I was trying, right? I was trying to come up with something, and I couldn't come up with anything. So we're just going to do our regular old readings, like our normal reading, and hopefully these, I'm scattered today, you guys, like no joke, I'm so scattered today. Hopefully these come out fun. Maybe we'll keep it lighthearted that way. But hello to everybody that is joining. You know, thank you for joining on a Sunday, on a holiday nonetheless. But you know, just let me see, let's say hi to some moms. So hi to Miss Vodka Vamp, and hi to Miss Cassie and Jenny and Channy and Doris and Rain and Marianne and everybody else. Hey Bub Files, you're not a mom, but I still say hi to you. So let's see, did we have tea this week? I don't know if I have any tea that I even care about anymore, much less to mention it on my stream. What's the tea that I had this week? Oh, okay. There was one thing I was going to mention. And I mean, we have all this stuff going on with women's rights and stuff like that, and I don't want to get into any type of politics on that. But this is it's obviously a really important time for women right now. We have the stuff going on with the Depp and Heard case. We have stuff going on with Congress and everything, and it's just it's a really unique time. And then we have, obviously, it's Mother's Day, and if you're Hispanic and you celebrate Dia de los Madres, like that's coming up. So there's lots of interesting stuff going on in our world right now. And something plagued me with the whole Depp and Heard case that I mean, I might not be the popular person, and I might not be the cool kid for even mentioning this, but I can't help myself. So what I've noticed about that case, and then I'm just going to kind of blanket term this because that case is very high profiled right now, is what I've noticed is that when anytime we have a high profile case, everybody becomes like a certified paralegal or like a body language, analyst or a specialist in behavior, anything like that. And they're really quick to judge anybody like in the court of people's opinion. They are just like so quick to like fire things off and things like that. And it's normal. I do it, we all do it. And I'm sitting there one night. I was recapping some stuff because it's really hard for me to watch that case, believe it or not. I am a woman that went through domestic violence, so there's a lot of like listening to a lot of stuff that happened that, let's say it for what it is. That was a very toxic marriage from both ends, from both parties. And I kind of sat there and I like was trying to recap on some of it. Most of the time I have to read it because just hearing their testimonies and stuff is, I mean, some of it's funny because Johnny makes things pretty funny on occasions, but just hearing what both parties are saying, occurred. Actually, being an empath and having some PTSD from my abuse is very hard for me. But, I like seeing how this type of case is going to roll out. But what I've really noticed is the divide that it has made with a lot of people, where I'm not going to say that Miss Heard never had anything happen to her. I'm pretty sure our wonderful Johnny, as much as I love him, and trust me, I do love him as an actor, don't know him personally, but I do love him as an actor. And as much as I love him, I don't, like I said, I don't know him personally, and I don't think any of us on here do. And so I have to say that some of those things that are being said are, there's a possibility because he was under influences. There's a possibility that things can be true, that in some instance. So I just look at things, for me anyway, I just look at things as like, what if both parties are right and both parties are wrong at the same time? Does that make one side weigh more heavy than the other? I mean, if you like I always tell people, you can't murder something a little bit. You're either a murderer or you're not. And I know we're not supposed to say the M word on here, but oh well. So that's what I've kind of felt as I've been watching that. And so that's kind of my tea, is like watching how society treats these things, watching how society just like really gets engulfed in it, and what is the pursuit of right and wrong and who's right and who's wrong and things like that. It's really interesting. I've enjoyed more, well, not really enjoyed, but been more intrigued by watching the populace's response to everything versus necessarily watching the case. It's very interesting. And I kind of reflected that into how we treat things in normal society. So like for me, it's no illusion that I get judged pretty hardcore being a tarot reader. I just had a person that I cared about dramatically. I mean, thought this person was an amazing friend. And, I kind of sensed a little bit of the judgment from them, but it ended up being, it blew up into something very, very uncalled for, is what we'll say. And, I just stepped away. I just said, no, I'm not doing this. That's okay. You do you, I do me. Of course, there was a little bit more to it. It got a little bit more dramatic, but ultimately I just said, nope, it stops when I say it stops. And I said it stopped. Now it stopped for me. It doesn't always stop for the other parties. And what is out there, what is heard cannot be unheard. What is seen cannot be unseen. So we are responsible for the information about ourselves that gets put out there. If you don't want people knowing too much about you, don't turn on your camera every time something happens in your life, and we're in a society of instant gratification where everybody needs to know and everybody needs to be on my side, or I need to feel good about this. Those thumbs up, those like button, the comments, everything, the amount of subscribers somebody gets on a YouTube channel, they're not a formation of how amazing of a person you are. It just might mean you had some interesting content, or it might mean the algorithms hit you at the right time. But we literally use those as tools in a society ranking. Now I know some YouTubers that have a lot of subscribers and they're nasty people. Like if you knew them in person, you'd be like, "Who in the are you? You are not the person I subscribe to." And then I know some YouTubers that are just quite the opposite of that. Like they are exactly who they are on their channel as they are in person. And if my voice sounds a little hoarse, it's because it's super duper windy and my allergies are kicking my butt. So I know it kind of sounds a little raspy right now. But yeah, and they'll sit there and be like, I have 5 million subscribers, so I'm better than you, and who's gonna listen to you, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so what if you have 5 million subscribers? You're still a dick. Like, 5 million subscribers doesn't take away from the nasty that's at your core. And just, that's so, like, social rankings, I think, are more of a defragmentation of our souls than anything else. Trying to find that status quo and meet the Joneses is so exhausting. I'm kind of glad I'm a humble channel. I mean, who doesn't want to have who doesn't want to have the 5 million or 10 million or whatever? I mean, it'd be an honor, right? But at the same time, I don't want that. I guess I'm a little jaded in the fact that maybe I don't know if I could handle so many people wanting content and stuff like that, because I've seen some of my friends who have a lot of subscribers. They're up there in those million counts, and they are like, they get a lot of good responses, but they get people feeling like they own them. And they get people feeling like they're entitled to them, their personal life. And they'll even go as so far as to dissect them and be like, well, this must be going on because blah, blah, blah hasn't gone live today. And they must be fighting with their spouse, or this must be. And actually, none of that's going on. And so the next time they go live, they're like reading these comments, and they're still human beings, right? So they're still sitting there going, like, why would you even say those things? Why would you think that? It's not like because they have so many subscribers that they're made out of steel. And we lose our humanity when we start looking at social rankings. Like, even kings and queens are humans too, you know? So I kind of look at, I've been like analyzing a lot with people and behaviors and stuff like that. And that's been my tea mostly lately, because I'm trying to figure out a way to just make myself happier, my family happier, those around me happier, and being more content with ourselves and being more available to others, and not have things like status or tangible stuff really be an interface for any of that. So that's kind of my tea this week, and hopefully I didn't bore the hell out of anybody, and I know it was kind of here, there, and everywhere, but that's my tea for the week. Nothing fancy, nothing cool, just, pop culture nonsense. Anyway, to my wonderful 7 that are in the chat, once again, hey, how's it going? And the wonderful people in blue are the moderators, and they are there to make sure the chat stays clean and happy and wholesome to a point, and are there to answer any questions you may have. And as a huge FYI up front, if you're not familiar with my channel, during my readings, I tend to not look at my chat a whole lot. I do kind of glance over from point to point, but I want to stay engulfed in the energies of my reading in order to provide a more structured and beneficial reading to those who are listening. So I don't try to gather the energies from the chat. I try to just let things be what they are and focus on the reading. So I apologize for the technical glitches of the beginning and the fact that the camera's all screwed up, but here we go. So starting with our wonderful Aries gang, let's see what messages we have for you. We'll stop right there. Let's see. And as you guys know, I pull 3 cards, but if more pop out, then they just do. Sometimes I take them, sometimes I don't. Alrighty. Can you guys see all those? Let me get my bearings here. There we go. Trying to figure out where I need to put the cards, because I had this laid out a different way and it worked. And then the stupid landscape portrait mode screwed with me. Okay. So the High Priestess in reverse the Four of Pentacles, and then the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So Aries, right now you're not within your element. And what I'm sensing from this is you're trying to hold on to everything in this tangible sense, because pentacles are earth energy. It's tangible things, things you can touch, taste, feel. It's your earthly things. Like this would be a tangible item versus something that you think, or something that is more, you know, more within the outside realm of you. So the High Priestess, when she's in her upright, she is very much, you know, she's a High Priestess. She has control over things, but she's more of control in, dare I say, a metaphysical sense. The way she can work energies, the way she can kind of make things happen, if you will. In the reverse, she's outside of her element. Things aren't really going the way she wants them to. You know, she kind of feels out of touch, in other words. So with the Four of Pentacles, as you can see, this, you know, young man, or yeah, he's kind of young. He's holding on to this pentacle with all his might. He's like being very greedy at this time. So what I'm getting from this is you're feeling out of touch with stuff, so you're going to hold on to everything. This denotes greed, strongly denotes greed. But you know what? The reason why you're holding on to things so much is because your work isn't satisfactory right now. You feel like you're at a risk for something. And I'm not 100% sure what you feel like you're at a risk for, but we'll pull a second deck. And if you ever had a full reading done by me, you'll know that I use a lot of decks at one time. Sometimes I use an oracle deck plus a standard deck plus a clarifying deck. That's why I have so many decks. And one of the reasons why I have big ones and small ones and all different shapes and sizes, because they all have different types of meanings and they all promote different styles of readings. That one flew right over there. So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, that's a kind of weird, odd meaning in this reading, and I want clarification. So I will ask for clarifiers on things. So clarifying the High Priestess, we have the Eight of Cups and the Page of Wands. Clarifying this Four of Pentacles, I have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Right now, it seems to me like you're having some money troubles, Aries. And why are we having money troubles? Yeah, well, that's a lot of earth energy. A lot of earth energy. Now, I don't always clarify everything if every card if I think I have enough of what I need from one or two. Alrighty. Then I'll kind of stop. But sometimes I clarify every card. Why not, right? So to clarify my High Priestess, I have the Eight of Cups and the Page of Wands. So right now with this energy, being that you're out of touch, you're willing to walk away from something, but you're hoping for something better to come. And that's why you're like, you know what? You've just taken yourself out of this situation. Like, you're jaded by it. You're not even like emotionally, mentally, you're just like, you know what? It's a done dollar. I don't even want to deal with it anymore. So why are you being greedy right now? Well, why anybody would be greedy? If you're out of touch with that job or that prospect of yourself, you're going to want to hold on to everything that you have and conserve. So sometimes greed isn't a bad thing. Sometimes greed is greed is also a root word for conserving. You know, holding on to what you have so that you have what you need. That doesn't always mean you're going to be this big miser and just kind of engulf everything. So with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, like you're banking on a blessing is what you're trying to do. You're like, if I can just hold off a little bit longer, maybe the stuff I put into place will work out better for me. The only problem is you have a hard time with understanding things. It's not your strong point. With that Eight of Wands in the reverse, you're not communicating something very well. Maybe you're not even being honest with yourself. So maybe the problem at work isn't the work. Sometimes we have to wonder what role we play in the problems that are in our lives. So maybe because you were, you know, you used to love your job, you used to perform it really, really well. Maybe when you were feeling in your element, maybe when it was like this, everything was great, right? You know, you worked hard, you were saving stuff, you know, you felt good, and so all of a sudden a few things changed and now you're just kind of scrambling to save up what you got. So which is nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it's better to work a job that you feel important at, that actually feeds your soul and feeds you. So Aries, you got some decisions to make, but they're good decisions. They're beneficial decisions. And I wish you a lot of luck with those, because anything that has to do with work. Alrighty. Moving right along to our wonderful Taurus gang. I hate readings that necessarily have to do with finances right off the bat, you know? Especially with summer coming up and stuff like that. I like better, more positive readings, but I can only speak for what comes forward. Unfortunately, I'm a cutthroat reader and I don't sugarcoat stuff. Even if I'm a little scattered today. You guys actually get to see how I draw cards. Most people don't get to see that. That landed in the reverse, but then it landed in the upright. I'm going to take it in the upright. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here, Taurus. 2 of Wands in the reverse. 5 of Wands, rather, in the reverse. And the Death card. So, where you were having a bunch of issues with stuff, you're no longer seeing the benefit in fighting. You're no longer seeing the benefit. You're actually, this is what I would say, someone's leaving the damn drama behind. You don't care what's gonna happen with some bullshit, because that's what this is some bullshit. You're like, no thank you, I don't give a shit. If it means I'm done with you or done with that situation or whatever, I'm fine. I'm good with that dying off, because I know my worth and I know my meaning, and I'm going to rebuild no matter what. There's going to be a new beginning. I don't really need to clarify this because that message was so strong. But you know what? Let's go ahead and I want to clarify that 5 of Wands real quick. Just maybe it can help pinpoint something for you. Alright, so whatever situation that is that had the drama that you're like, to hell with you, leave it behind. It could have been work related. And you were at one point involved in the drama, you were involved in it, but then you were like, what do people actually gain? Yeah, you see right here with the 7 of Swords, he's got 5 swords, he's running off with them. You know what? Yeah, you win wars, but to what advantage? What did you actually gain? You don't gain anything from talking shit and being a nasty person. You just don't. You never will. It'll never be a gain for you. If anything, it's just a bunch of people that are going to sit there and go, oh, that person likes to talk a lot of shit and get involved in drama. That's what they'll know you as. And you actually found the benefit of that. You actually found, not the benefit of talking shit in the drama, but you found the benefit in knowing that, like, you know what, maybe I just don't want this icky energy. And with the Death card, that's all about rebirth. That's a cycle. That's a cycle ending, but in the sense of something is concretely ending and a new is coming. So, or you could be dealing with a Scorpio too. That's a Scorpio card. Imagine that. Capricorns are devils and Scorpios are death cards. Anyway, but that's pretty much the message I have for you, Taurus. So let's move right along to our wonderful Gemini gang. Geminis, let's see what messages we have for you. These cards are, I'm still breaking them in. I've only used them a couple times, so they don't have a lot of bend to them just yet. So you don't get to hear the wonderful shuffle too much. A little bit right there, right? All right, Gemini. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Plop. Oh, there's 3. Sometimes I don't like when they fall out in chunks, because I'm like, is that the true message or did it just kind of like throw up? But we'll take it. We'll take it. It was precisely 3, so we'll take it. Alrighty. Can y'all see those? Perfect. All right. That is the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. That is the 8 of Cups in the upright. And that is the 3 of Wands in the reverse. So everybody seems to, what's with all this wand and pentacle energy lately? But you know what, as things transition, we grow. And right now we're going from winter, we just came out of winter, we're in spring, we're going into summer soon. And I think a lot of people are like, you know what? We're walking away from virus time, and we're being able to kind of spread our wings a little bit better. So from this, I'm seeing you, this could, a lot of people would say this is literally somebody working, like this is physical work, like your job. But in the reverse, it's like this person's, like in the upright, this person's proud. They've taken a lot of pride in their work. And right here, they're like, not so much. And then you have the Eight of Cups, which is like, you know what? I'm walking away from this situation. I know I shouldn't, or maybe I don't even really want to, but I need to. We don't always get what we want in this world. Sometimes we have to rely on what we need, what actually is best for us. You don't have a lot of direction with it, and you're not really, like, you're just ready to walk away from it. Now, if this is a job and you're like, I don't even give a shit if I have another job waiting, I'm so done with this shit right here. But whatever this is, you're like, I'm just done, and I don't care what is or isn't coming forward for me. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for the future at this point, but whatever it is that you're walking away from, you're like, yeah, it was enough for me to want to walk away, and not, even if I don't have a parachute plan, it's got to be better than this. So let's go ahead and clarify that Seven of Pentacles and see what that's all about. You know what? It did give us 3 cards for that, and I feel like I should take them. So you have the Judgment card, the Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. You were promised something a lot better than what you got. All right? Because you were promised something better that you didn't get, and I think you know your worth. Even though you're like, I may not know it completely, I know it enough to know that something better for me is out there. And that's why you're lacking the direction, but you have the wherewithal to know that there is something better that is actually meant for you. So we know you're walking away. Let's clarify that the Three of Wands. Can you not? My cat is attempting to read tarot with me right now. She's like inching her way over to the cards. Okay, Page of Swords and Knight of Cups. You don't know how to get where you're going, but you have a drive to get there. So, one more card. Come on. Oh, you gave me 2. You gave me 2. All right. Now, these are not 2 cards I want to see together. And I'll explain why. The Nine of Cups is a great card when it is in its upright. See, he's all pleasantly happy right there. He's got all of his cups behind him. He's good. He's fulfilled. This is utter fulfillment is what that is. In the reverse, I need you in order to be fulfilled. This is codependency. Devil card. Control energy. So codependency and the Devil card, somebody has, like, this is what I would say, somebody's got you by the balls. Hardcore. And anything's better. You're absolutely right. Anything is better than that. If that's a relationship, you run. If that's a boss, you run, because nobody ever deserves to have this in their life, where you feel like I'm only as good as what this person is to me. And with Devil energy, that is control. This could be somebody who's like, some people will say this is a sexual energy card. It's all of that. It's, you know, it's the drug, it's the substance abuse, it's everything. This is all controlling energy right here. And sometimes, not always is the Devil card bad, because it depends on what you're controlling. But in this case, where you have it met with this, where somebody's very codependent on this could be addiction. Addiction to what? I don't know. This could be addiction to a person. This could be an addiction to substance, you know, where you're just like, I need to stay in order to feel fulfilled. But you're going through this, so you're like, maybe, you know, if, like I said, if it's a job, you needed to leave. You're absolutely right, you needed to leave. If this is a relationship, you're absolutely right, you needed to leave. And when we come out of things that are codependent and controlled, yeah, we usually don't have a rhyme or reason. We usually don't have a direction. But, I mean, you have reason, but you usually don't have rhyme or reason going forward. You're just like, I have to just get away, and that's like your focal. but you are going to receive some help. There is going to be people that help you. So right now is the great time for you to make that move. All right. That was a very intense reading, Gemini, and they don't come out for you like that often. So that might have been specific to somebody, but I think everybody can kind of take some messages away from that, even if it didn't necessarily apply to you. Cancer, you're next. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. What messages do we have for you for this week? Normally I would postpone my reading because of how like scattered I've been today, but I figured I would take a risk and see how I read without like all of my elements in place, just to see what just to see the nature of the reading, like how it would come out. Hasn't been too bad so far. What's wrong with Matt? Uh-oh. Just refresh it, Matt. It happens to me sometimes. No, you're cheating. Get back in there. That one just like fell out. He didn't jump out. Lazy ass. Bam. Alrighty. For you, Cancer, we have the Four of Pentacles. See, all these pentacle energy. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's good. And we have the Six of Pentacles and the Star card in reverse. So this is interesting. Right now you're in conservation mode. You're trying to conserve things. You're starting to save up some stuff, balancing yourself out. Right here you have these the Six of Pentacles, which is that equal give and take card. That is like, I'm not taking more than what I need. I'm not giving up more than what I got. And then the Star card in reverse. So right now, if I can be real with y'all, this is like the banking on of blessing reading. This is somebody who's like, I'm gonna start doing things right because I'm trying to get like the higher power's attention. I'm gonna put money in the beggar's hat, and then I'm gonna smile up at the sky and be like, you see that I'm doing this, right? I'm trying to bank on a blessing right here. And you know what happens when we do stuff like that? It's not authentic. It's not genuine. So do things because it's what serves you or serves another. There's nothing wrong with, making sure something serves you, okay? We have to from time to time. But you also want to make sure that your intentions are pure, all right? You want to make sure that what you're putting out there is necessarily the energy you want back. So if you go and you sit there and put money in a beggar's hat and go, I'm just trying to get my karma good, or I'm trying to get, a blessing to come my way. You know what kind of blessing you're going to get? You're going to get somebody sitting there going, I'm going to dangle things in front of you. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a false blessing, a temporary fix. It's going to give you euphoria, and then it's going to fall and pull the tablecloth from under you, or from off the table, the rug from under you, whatever you want to call it. That's what this type of attitude does. That's what this type of methodology does. It produces false benefit and false reward. So you'll see like, okay, I know this is how it works. If I do good, I'm going to get good, right? Yeah, if you're being genuine, but then people stop and go, well, I am being genuine. And it's like, would you have done that even if you had $1 million? Would you be still wanting this type of blessing? Would you still be doing those behaviors? If it is, then it's genuine. But because you only have $5 in your pocket and you're like, I feel the need to give this guy 4 of it, because I know if I do good, I'm going to get it back 3-fold or 10-fold or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but that money doesn't show up. Why? Because it's teaching you a lesson. It's teaching you a lesson about being authentic. It's teaching you a lesson about being whole and being real with yourself. So, yeah, you can't be disingenuine and then expect genuine results. You just can't. So imagine anytime you do something like that, just imagine yourself if you were the king of the world or you had millions and millions of dollars, would you still be in that place at that time doing those services? If you can answer yes, then there's a possibility that it's genuine, because we don't know how we would behave as millionaires. Remember the MC Hammer story where that guy was nice. He gave his money to a bunch of people, took care of a lot of people. And then his house went into foreclosure and everything because people were being dishonest with him. You know, they would take his money and his, people were running his money into the, into the deficit. So the guy was on top of the world at one point only to crash and burn and go further down than he was. I mean, he's definitely turned over a new leaf. He found God. He's doing well for himself now, but he learned a lot of lessons about how people can be. Not that he found God. He was always a godly man, but he's dedicated himself more to God now, and left behind a lot of the glitz and glam of being, in front of the camera and all that and on stage. But very talented man, but learned a lot of lessons, and applied them. But he definitely was somebody that, a lot of people could learn a lot from. Alrighty, let's clarify that Six of Pentacles right there. Oops. The cards are flying today. Isn't that funny? That happens a lot sometimes. That's how you know a reading is like meant to be what it is. Like that card's meant to be there. Okay, so clarifying the Six of Pentacles, I have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe you're not being as wise with your money. You're being a little more, frivolous. You weren't quite, you didn't want to feel so confounded. You didn't want to be at the mercy of having to save or be at the mercy of, the restrictions of it. Like you're like, no, if I just go carefree, or maybe you've learned a lesson about being carefree, right? About spending a little too wildly, a lot of cycles for you. And right now you know what happens when you get a little too loose with your pocketbook, right? You're like, yeah, I tend to overspend and I tend to yeah. There's a lot of us that have that issue. Trust me, I can spend. And that's never been one of my best qualities, but if I spend a lot, I have to make a lot. So I'm always working. People are like, wow, this woman doesn't take a break. This woman does nothing but sit there and figure out how she's going to bring in more in and more in. That's absolutely how I am. But there's a reason for that. It's because I like nice shit and I like going places and I like doing stuff. So I have to work hard to play hard. And I think you've learned that lesson about that equal give and take right there. About being fair and balanced. So let's clarify your star card. With another star card in the upright, though. All right, so there is going to be an opportunity that presents itself to you, but it's not going to present itself in the way you think it will, okay? So even under the worst luck terms, even bad luck brings good lessons, all right? It just depends on how you take away from this. Right, that Ace of Wands is a new physical opportunity. But it's fast energy, so it's like when the iron's hot, you need to go. But it doesn't come the way you want to. One of the things I always tell people, and Fluff can tell you this, everybody wants to be a millionaire, right? Raise your hand. Who wants to be a millionaire? Everybody. You think it make life easier, right? Well, everybody wants to be a millionaire until what? Until you find out what millionaires have to do. Now, they're like, oh, but they're millionaires. They can sit back and they can do what they want. No, they can't. They work. They just work differently. Money works for them. They don't work for money. There's a difference. And that's something that I tell Fluff all the time when he's like, how do you do this? How do you do all you do and manage everything and all that? And I was like, money works for me. I'm the slave driver to the money, not the other way around. I don't go to the store and worry about how much money I can spend. I don't. And there's a reason for that. Because I have more faith in my qualifications in this world than to sit there and worry about how I'm going to make something happen. I always tell people I can change the way things happen in your world. Give me 3 days. Give me 3 days of your die-hard dedicated time. And I know that sounds gimmicky and everything, but I can definitely, and I have, changed the way people think and the way they perceive money and finances and stuff like that. Which is one of the reasons why I don't sit there and feel sorry for people when they have financial issues. Because everybody, and it's happened, and a lot of people know this on YouTube, is people come to me when they have money issues. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. And we all have money issues. Even I've had money issues. Not a big deal. Okay, the problem is, you had a money issue now and I loan you money. But you got to pay me back, okay? All right, go ahead and pay me back. But where did you fill the gap from paying me back? How does that fill that gap? Or is that gap going to always be there? You're always going to have that hole, right? Because too much was taken out. You had to borrow some to put it in. And then you had to take some out of the next check to pay me. So you still have a hole. What did you do wrong? Well, you didn't have passive income, and a lot of people use that term now. The term's been around for a long time. And I teach people, make $1 off your dollar. So that's investment, right? Well, kind of, sort of. I learned it from my father, who went from being broke to being able to do whatever it is he needed to do in the world, and a little bit of what he wanted. I just simply sat and listened to him. My dad was in the military. My dad was a hardworking man. My dad worked 16 hours a day. And he did it because he loved his job. But my dad was a hard man. And I always wondered why my dad was just not there emotionally for me and all this stuff. And then I found out when I was older, he was there for me emotionally, just not the way that I as a child could understand. Found out when I was older. My dad became my best friend. So, was that the Cancer reading? Fluff. Did I just do Cancer? Am I on Leo now? I think I'm on Leo. I'm going to do Leo, but if I need to do Cancer, just tell me. All right, Leo. Could use a few extra dollars. We all could. Just don't invest your money in pyramid schemes. Stay the hell. You hear pyramid scheme, or it even looks like a pyramid scheme. You invest this so I can make money off of you and 9,000 people under. Oh my God, run. Run so far. Run. Oh no. Somebody else's pipe. Remember LaLaRue? They just did that whole expose on them and how they treated people and took advantage. Oh, Lordy. No. Stay away from pyramid schemes. All right, here we go, Leo. All righty, Leo. Far over here. Okay. So we have the Four of Cups in the reverse. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the upright. And we have the Seven of Swords in the upright. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I apologize. Seven of Pentacles, or seven, Lordy. Seven of Swords in the upright. Okay, so what this card denotes is usually a missed opportunity. As you can see, he's sitting there staring at those 3 cups right there, arms folded. He's like, so I'm kind of stuck with those, huh? He's not even paying attention to that cloud back there. I know it's kind of hard to read, but it is a cloud, and it's holding out that cup. And it's like, hey, look at me, look at over here, you know? In the reverse, it's like you're not, you are taking the opportunity, but you're more open now to perception. You're open now, like you're noticing things instead of sitting there and hyper focusing on one thing. You're like, wait a minute, you take a step back. You're allowing yourself to broaden your perspective. All right. So right now you're not, the opportunity that presented itself to you. I hate to break this to you, Leo. It ain't looking like a good one though. because you're like, you're kind of in this like, fuck it, I don't want to work for it mode, and you're just willing to like take what you want. I mean, sometimes that's a good thing, but I'm not gathering that from this. I'm gathering like you're kind of fed up. Like I'm getting fed up energy here. But let me clarify that Eight of Pentacles real quick. Oh, Lord. Okay, maybe not. Hold on. We'll just go ahead and select from there. Oh, you want to move forward with something. All right, cool. You're tired of struggling. You're tired of fighting. You're ready to move forward because you're ready to start enjoying shit again. I can understand that. I can understand. I think everybody wants that, right? So, Seven of Swords. One more. Why not? Seven of Swords. With the Seven of Swords. I can't make this shit up, you guys. King of Pentacles. You know what? You're not making... The thing is, you weren't making enough money doing what you did. And you're like, you know what? You're willing to lie, cheat, and steal to get to the top. I like to call that hustle culture right there. You're willing to do what it takes to get to the top, regardless of what it takes. It's hustle culture, but in a bad way. You're willing to do some shady shit, in other words. And I'm telling you, Leo, no, don't do it. I mean, your card's right there, and it's within your element where you're like, but I'm king of the damn jungle with my Leo energy, my lion energy right here. I can do what I want because I'm fed up with working for the man. I'm fed up with working my ass off for something that hasn't come into the fruition that I was promised or anything like that. So you know what? I might as well go do the shit I want to do regardless. That King of Pentacles energy, though, it's cute in the head. It's not cute in reality. All right? So you know what? I understand. I get it. I get wanting to... I get the instant gratification method. I get that sensation. But it ain't gonna serve you, dude. It ain't gonna make the world better for you. In other words, it'll give you something temporary, but it might also give you some metal bracelets to wear around in a cute little orange jumpsuit, and somebody is gonna sit there and be like, here's the soap on a rope. Alrighty. Moving along to our wonderful Virgo gang. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Let's see what messages we have for our wonderful Virgos. One of these days, this deck's going to break in for me. All right, Virgo. Hey, it's Jan. Hi, Jan. I'll tell you, every so often I peek over and I look. And there's Boomer. I haven't seen Boomer around in a while. I think I've ever seen Boomer in my chat. One more card for you, Virgo. Come on. Virgos are being, once again, stingy. There we go. Ooh, Virgo. New beginnings. Okay, you got to make a choice about something, though. And I think you already have. This is very directional based, and based on the cycles that you've experienced in your life, your highs and your lows, right? You got a cycle going on. It's not closed yet because it would be in the upright. With the World card, it's in the reverse here. With that Two of Swords energy, it's like, you know what? I know what I need to do. I know the decision I need to make. See how she's got, the person has a blindfold, but with the swords crossed, they're ready. They know what they need to do, and they can do so without that sight and focus. Okay, that's a big takeaway from this, is the fact that they are blindfolded. So it means it's instinctual what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be deciding on. Okay, and you got that World card there in the reverse, meaning you're still in the cycle, but new beginnings, new change is coming for you. Let's get some clarification on that, though. Lord, what happened here? I got cards in the wrong direction. Hold on. Hold everything. We gonna do that again. Don't think I need to clarify that Two of Swords, but I do want to clarify that World card with the Knight of Wands in the reverse, the Hermit card. Eight of Wands. Okay. Not everything you needed to do so quick and hastily. You needed to sit back, watch what was going to happen, watch the shit kind of unfold on its own. Okay? Gave you some wisdom. And you started learning how to communicate with yourself on this. You're like, see, look, I told you if you just wait and saw, you would know. You would know why things are happening the way they're happening, what makes things balance out, what provokes things. Like, you were learning all of that. You had that like eye in the sky about certain things. Maybe in the past you were like, you know what, I may know better, but I'm still going to open my damn mouth. I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to do that. All right. Well, now you're kind of learning. You kind of have learned, right? Now you're able to communicate that to yourself of like, you know what, I can be a little bit more docile. I can be a little bit more calm about this because watch, I already know what's going to happen. And that's what you've learned, is that your instincts kind of kick in. It may be a little bit different than you initially thought, but ultimately the overall, you're like, hi, yeah, that was definitely something I didn't want no part of though. Or it was something I did want a part of, you know, and I learned when to jump into the water, and I learned when to put my foot in the water, and I learned when to stay the hell away from the water. All right. So let's clarify that Death card. Get you a little stronger message. Ooh. That Wheel of Fortune card. I could literally take that Queen of Pentacles sideways, but I'm going to take it the way I think it fell. Five of Swords in the reverse. So, yeah, remember I said about, you know, conflicts and stuff like that? Yeah, you're like, you know what, I'm not in a combative attitude about this. I am not in a mindset of I'm in this to win this type thing. You're like, I don't really win anything anyway when it happens. It's like the things that you win are knowledge, more of the self-serving stuff, things that actually enrich you, that are actually making you a better person to be around, being a better person to actually, like, this is what I'm getting from this, is you're learning how to be your own best friend, and you're learning how to be a better person for others. And that's what's bringing you a lot more fortitude right now and then going forward. So overall, Virgo, good reading. You're learning that your attitude sometimes can get the best of you, but you're also learning that you know what to do in those situations where it might provoke your qualities. We'll call it that. And, you know, some of them are not so great. But if you can control that, and you can say, you know what, I'm just not interested in letting you light my fire in that regard. I'm just going to sit over here and, you know, sip my Slurpee and be like, dude, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't care. Like, you're just going to be chill, and that's great. That's great for a Virgo. Virgos aren't usually chill too often. So when they get to chill and they're like, nah, man, I don't even know right now. And they get to sit there and laugh, and they're like, I don't care. And it's a new vibe for them. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this reading, is you're learning it. You're learning it, Virgo. All right, Libra. What action we got for Libra this week? Good job, Virgos. I like when people are like, they can unwind their own string and be like, nope. I know how I can be. You're not trying to sour your own Kool-Aid. That's pretty cool. Anyway, moving along to our wonderful Libras. Ta-da. Libra. Libra, Libra. Okay. So we have the Five of Pentacles, the Hanged Man in the reverse, and the Judgment card. All right. So a lot of times you'll go on to TikTok, you'll go on to YouTube, and everybody tells me that this card means, oh, you're being left out in the cold. It can mean that. That's literally more of the intuitive side of this card. But what this card does mean book-wise, or anytime I've studied it, is this is a church. It's a place of solitude. And you see a husband, and they're meant to be a husband and wife figure. Husband, wife. A partnership, if you will. And they're struggling. See, he's in crutches, they're cold, they're struggling, but they know salvation is near. They know it's possible to obtain it, but right here they're walking alongside of it. Maybe they didn't want the salvation. Maybe they don't want to be saved. Maybe they want to find their own glory. This is a couple that is willing to struggle with each other. They're willing to struggle out their circumstances. So you can take it either way. They both meanings kind of hold hands, but this fives being change means that, you know, you are going to be coming out of this situation. This situation is not permanent for you by any means. The Hanged Man in reverse. You're ready to make movement now. So before, like when the Hangman's in his upright, he's literally just kind of hanging around being like, I'm just going to sit here and watch. You're no longer doing that anymore, and you've made the judgment call to change your situation. No longer being in that, dare I say, beggar mode or isolation mode or struggle, strife, whatever you want to picturize that, whatever pronoun you want to use for it, whatever adverb you want to use for it, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it. You're ready to no longer have to do that. Maybe sitting there in a struggle for so long has made you finally realize things. Sometimes we have to go through struggles in order to realize we do not want to be in that situation again. And that's why I don't believe in saving people all the time, because you need to know what it feels like to have that situation go through your system and be like, do you really want to do that again? No, but if you're constantly saving somebody or cushioning their fall, they never know what a busted ass feels like. So they don't know what to not do in order, you know, they keep repeating the same stuff, right? So here, that's what I'm kind of seeing is you no longer want to do that because you know what a busted ass feels like. All right, so Libra, let's go ahead and clarify the Hanged Man for you. Codependency energy again. King of Swords in the reverse. Well, the King of Swords, when he's in his upright, he's very poised. He's very proper. He's got his sword there. He's like, I know my tongue and I know how to vocalize myself and be poised. But when he's in the reverse, his filter is gone. So this is somebody who has had enough of people's shit, in other words. But you've got that codependent energy, like your needs weren't met in something and that brought out a really nasty side of you. But let me clarify this Judgment card. Okay. Page of Swords and the Three of Wands. So you're like, you know what, I may not, pardon me, you may have screwed things up in the past a little bit and you know that now, and you're like, I may not be the most reliable person in the world, but I have made the judgment call to start anew and to go in that direction stronger and more forceful. Yeah, you start off as a page, but you will get your king status back if you apply the efforts that you know and stop and drop the baggage of the situations that promote like I said with Virgo, that promote a side of you that is less savory. So stop putting yourself into these bad situations, bad people, bad any of that. The stuff that toxicity is different for everybody. What's toxic to me may not be toxic to another person. They may be able to handle it a lot better than me, and vice versa. So stop listening to people saying like, oh, that's not that bad, when it's bad for you. So you may not have your king status yet, but you are definitely on that way, because you're not as vulnerable to wanting to repeat the things that literally promote a unsavory side of you, or unsavory decision making, or anything like that. Alrighty, Scorpio. I have one Scorpio in the chat. Let's find out. Let's find out. A 3D reading? What's a 3D reading? I peek over and Eggsy's telling me I had a 3D reading. Scorpio. Scorpio. One more time for our Scorpios. Okay. Messages for Scorpio. There's one. There's two. And there's three. Ta-da! Ooh, the moon card. In the reverse. The High Priestess in the upright, and the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Scorpio. So you've uncovered something hidden. Sometimes we call it, well, this is in the upright. This is like, the moon card, shit hiding in the shadows. People being a little sneaky sneak. Either yourself or others. But when it's in the reverse, it's like, oh, shit came to surface. Truth came to light. Stuff like that. What have you learned? But I think, instead of learning about other people necessarily, this has a lot to do with you. So right there, dead center, the High Priestess. The High Priestess, she literally sits there and she's like, I know better. I already know. Don't worry. Like, you knew it before they said it, or didn't say it, or you knew it before it didn't happen, or did happen. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to shut my mouth about what I think is going on, about what I think might happen. You've actually learned a little something, Scorpio, because Scorpios tend to be fiery sometimes, even though they are a water sign. Scorpios can have a damn attitude. And trust me, I know I was married to one. But Scorpios are very intuitive. Oh my God, are they into? They can spot a liar. They can smell a liar from like a mile away. Let's clarify that moon card. You know when people are being dodgy. Click. Temperance, patience. But you know what? There's some kind of shit here that you were like, you know what? I don't feel so good about it. It's not bringing out the best part of me, but you know what? I have patience. One more. I think I'm uncovering. Okay. To the Scorpios that are in a relationship. A relationship that may not be the most balanced. Or there's something that kind of, dare I say, there's something controlling over the relationship, your love interest. Something has a choke collar on it for some reason. If you're a young Scorpio and your parents are pissed at you for dating somebody, this might be your reading. If you're a Scorpio that has just something that has a controlling factor over you that's within a relationship, a tangible relationship, I don't have pentacles on board here, but that's the message that I'm getting. Now, this situation is like, you know what? I feel like I'm not being my authentic self because I have this baggage right here, this controlling factor. You've been going around to and fro, and you're like, you know what? That's okay. I can handle this. Maybe you're being cut off by people as a result of something going on, and you're like, you know what? I've got the patience for this. I know how to overcome. I know how to endure. And you're figuring out a little bit something about yourself through it. Clarify your High Priestess with just a couple cards. Let's see the direction of your intuition here. Yeah, you're spotting a liar. You're spotting people that are not being true. Maybe your lover told you a lie. And you didn't really struggle with figuring it out either. You're like, I already know. Trust me, I already know. But it's like, even if there is a lie, and if something isn't true, you're not as bothered by it. Like, you're like, I still love you. Why don't you just tell me the truth? Let's clarify that Eight of Wands real quick. You know what? That felt like throw up to me. Hold on. When cards puke at me, it's like, or they burp, they just kind of fall out of my hand. It's not a true. Ooh, lordy. There was a lot of cards there. Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Swords in reverse, the Moon card in the upright, the Knight of Swords. This is actually this whole situation, this weird web of who knows what, is actually going to bring forth more prosperity to you, in the sense of being, you're like, okay, I kind of know how this person is, but you know what? It's going to bring a stronger, dare I say, a stronger unity. Because you know what? It's like, they can't take from you. They can't really lie to you anymore. And the cool thing is, I don't even think they even want to anymore. They're more happy with having that genuineness with you than they ever were being gratified in their lie. Well, this is kind of cool. So, Scorpio, if you figure there's some situation, somebody, something was trying to be a little sneaky, what you thought was probably true, at least in some part. And the thing is, it's you who determines how much of that are you going to just let continue? Or are you just going to confront it? Or are you going to let it fall, unfold? And you're like, even if it unfolds, I still care. I'm still going to be okay with the situation. Because one thing about you, Scorpio, at least in this reading, is this is something you're not willing to let go of either way. This isn't something where you're like, I'm going to expose you for being a liar. You're like, no, I don't gain anything from that, and neither do you. So let's just work our way through, because I want to be that person that we don't have to have that situation with. We don't have to bear any falseness with. And I'm getting a strong connection with, either a family member or a loved interest with that, but it doesn't have to be. Alrighty, Scorpio, moving along to Saggies. Sagittarius. Sag. Okay. Sagittarius. Message for you from my cards, the Sagittarius. Who needs the message? Okie dokie. Well, that don't look too promising. It's not as bad as it looks. But, alright, so we have the Hermit card, the Two of Cups in the reverse, and the Ten of Wands in the upright. So, alright, Saggy, you let a connection go. You let a passion go. You let something get in between it. You knew this connection right here, dead center. You knew it was good. You knew what it was. And it fell apart. And now you're struggling. Now you're carrying all the weight that what should have been divided in two, you carry it all as one. And it sucks. Let's find out what happened. Let's clarify this Hermit card. Oh, wish fulfilled. Oh. Yeah, you wanted this. You when this was like this, you had asked for it. I mean, what'd you do? You dropped the ball or what? Made you feel good? Your soul was at rest. I mean, you were in a great place when this came in. So what happened with this Two of Cups energy? Oof. One more, please. Thank you. Was it a divorce? With the Hierophant? And that one landed on its side. I mean, your risk, like, and that's what I'm getting from this. Like, you know, when you lose the other person, it's really, really difficult to determine. Like, you thought that this was going to save your heart by leaving this. New opportunity. Were you being a little shit and cheating? Thought you'd get away with it, huh? Somebody was cheating. I promise you. I promise you. Oh, they'll never know. It wasn't supposed to hurt, blah, blah, blah. And there's a risk here. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's clarify that. 10 of Wands real quick. Well, I mean, we all know the struggles, but take it. You made a premature judgment too quick. You jumped into a marriage too quickly and you weren't happy with it, and so you started the whole sneaky cheat. And then you found out you cared about him, or you cared about him. The sneaky cheat happened either to you or from you. And you were like, you know what, that's fine. Clearly I don't love you. Clearly I don't love this, whatever. And you decided to go ahead and call it quits. With that Judgment in reverse, it tells me that you prematurely judged that situation. And it probably wasn't the best thing for you. Like, you were like, no, I made that call. I knew this is what I needed. See, when the Judgment in reverse happens next to the Two of Swords, it's like, yeah, it was a blind call. And you went forward thinking like, nope, this is going to be okay. This is going to feel good. And it kind of didn't. All right, so we identified a problem, but there's not a lot of advice moving forward. So for you, my awesome Sagittarius, I want to pull some advice moving forward because that's a really difficult situation. Like, it was just something we identified, not necessarily... Four cards, huh? Hangman, okay. 10 of Pentacles, the Chariot, Hierophant in reverse, and the Hangman in the upright. So if this was a divorce, because you have the 10 of Pentacles in the upright, you have the Chariot, the Hierophant in reverse, and then the Hanged Man. There's a lot of like concrete major arcana energy right here. So, happy home. This could be taken two different ways. This could be, you know, actually not really. No, it can't. You don't even want to go through with this freaking divorce. You don't even want to go through the separation or whatever. So why the hell are you? I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, Sagittarius, you stupid. That is the dumbest shit. Go back and fix your problem. Oh my God, get off my table with that. You know damn well you screwed up. And you know what you need to do. Quit making people miserable because you made a mistake. And quit feeling sorry for yourself while you're at it. All right, we're moving along to Capricorn. Saggy, go handle your business. Don't tell nobody your business. Just go handle it. Just go handle it. All right? Capricorn. That looked like a good shuffle. We'll stop there. Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn. Stubborn Capricorn energy. Don't want to flip a card. Oh, there we go. Justice in the reverse. No, you stay the way you are. Okay. Capricorn. Knight of Wands in the reverse. So something coming forward. Fiery. Fiery and fast. Ain't making you feel that great. Justice in the reverse. Let me clarify first. You're worried about something. You got some legal issue coming your way or that you're dealing with? Okay. So you're not going to be able to go forward into new situations until you handle stuff that happened previously. Right now, Capricorn is if we speak for a moment on karmic situations, karmic relationships and things like that, karmic cycles. You're trying to like run forward into something because you're having a moment where you're like, I just don't feel right within myself. I need to do this. I need to just go forward in something. You can't feed everybody from your half empty self. Okay. So right now it's not even like justifiable for you to be doing this. With the Sun card in the reverse, you have the Three of Cups, the Sun card in reverse, and Ace of Pentacles. So, yeah, you're trying to move forward from like a seemingly bad situation, and you're trying to run into something that's like, okay, I'm ready to go have fun now. I'm ready to go do new things, but you haven't quite finished your previous meal, right? We'll call it like that. And you need to do that. You can't take garbage into a clean house and expect it to stay clean. Okay? And that's pretty much what you're trying to do. You're like, yeah, but if I get a new house, then I don't have to worry about cleaning the old one. Yeah, you do. King of Cups. You're carrying past burdens around too much. You're really beating yourself up over shit you couldn't do anything about even if you wanted to. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, the Hermit card, and the Ten of Wands. You're carrying so much shit. No wonder you want to run from your life. Justice card. King of Wands, sorry. Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Lighten up on yourself a little bit. You're being unjustifiably mean to yourself right now, Capricorn. You really, truly are. And that's what it's telling me right here is just, you need to be more nurturing towards yourself. You need to start feeling good about yourself. Go out and pamper yourself a little bit. This is definitely, and like right here, new story, to be honest with you, now that I have this all on the board, you don't allow yourself to go have fun because you feel like you have so much obligation, so much is stacked up, I have so much anxiety, I have to do this, then you literally forget to go have fun. Or it's not so much you forget, you really crave it, but you're like, you psych yourself out of it. You're like, nope, can't really go do that because, I got bills, I got this, I got to take care of Johnny, I got to take him to baseball practice, I got to take Susie to ballet, I got to blah, 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 my schedule's too big, I can't do any of that. And it's like, yeah, you're going to sit there and know, and you know that you're carrying on way too much. You're making it bigger than what it is. You can definitely have a friend come watch the kids one night. You can definitely do other things for yourself. You don't have to make things into these bad situations. You're really, really getting heavy in your mind right now. And you're not feeling good about yourself. And what you need to do is be a little bit more justifiable with yourself. Be a little bit, as a Capricorn, oh my Lord, be a little looser with your money. I know we hate that. Oh my Lord. But be a little bit looser with your, nurture yourself. Feel good about yourself. Do the things that make you feel pretty again. You went through some stagnation. You're not feeling all that pretty about yourself. You're not feeling like you're appearing. This is appearance based. You're appearing as your best self. So you need to self-nurture. Okay, Capricorn. Those messages were pretty strong and direct, and I think you know what I mean. So we're going to move along to our Aquarian gang. Let's see what the Aquarians have going on for them. Aquarius. I think we'll stop there. You want to come out and play? There you go. Two cards came out. Oh, Lord. Huh. To the person who went through the loss of a child, this could very well be a miscarriage as a result of some poor decision making, some poor choices. This can also mean, this one I'm getting a passing of some sort, a loss of somebody substantial. The Sun card can sometimes mean children. So this could qualify for them, but this may also qualify for the person that's going through a divorce as well. So Aquarius, you got the World card in the upright, the Hierophant in the reverse, and the Death card in reverse. You may have rekindled past a divorce. You may be stagnant in it. It's like you're still involved in it. Like you don't want to let go of this person, is what I'm getting. Like this person, I could interpret these in their direct meaning, but what I'm definitely getting is like this person was your world. They made you feel the best. And you don't want to make the decision to move onward from them, even though it's literally not good for you. So, like you notice my tone changes with certain readings, and that was definitely one of them. You found out a lot about this person. Those are all major arcana. This is some major stuff that hits you really hard. The lies. You're like, you know what? You ever had somebody lie to you so bad that you were just like, you know what? The fuck with you. I'm gonna go on. I'm you know, I'm gonna be stronger and better and wiser and everything. Lots of definite energy on here. Lots of major arcanas on the board. But what I'm seeing from this is like you had that like pink cloud moment where you're like, I can do, like you made a decision, but you never truly made it. You made it under false pretenses. Like you're like, I can do this, but you know what? It costs you a lot. It's like literally, I didn't even really need the Tower card to jump at me to know that was a Tower moment right there. One more card. And the Hermit card. You need to rely on people that are older and wiser than you to kind of guide you through this. Okay, Aquarius, you've got some substantial heartache right here. This isn't even like, this is nothing lightly. This is literally like where the Sun card is complete happiness and complete light, where it's just like in the reverse. And as you can see, the reason why we say this is like in the tarot sometimes because represent being pregnant. Got that little baby right there. And when it's like this, it's like child loss. Like you're really carrying some, and rightfully so, some hardcore baggage right now. With that Tower card, like you just feel like you have nothing and no one. And that's not true. You need to rely on your inner wisdom, rely on people that know better than you, even at this time. All right, that's how you're going to get through this. Because being reckless and frivolous and foolish, dare I say, feels good in the temporary, but it's unreliable in the future. And I always tell people the way you feel right now is going to be completely different than how you feel 10 months from now, 2 years from now, things like that. And I know when I went through some horrible, horrible times, they were the most catastrophic things in that moment. And a year would go by, and 2 years would go by, and 3 years would go by, and it was different at those stages. I won't say it was better, I won't say it was worse, but it was different. You learn to compose, you learn to find your bearings, even if ever so slightly. But I think that this is beyond you, and you are going to need to find somebody that just has been there, kind of knows, and you're going to need to go to them. Find your way through that darkness, okay? And that's my biggest suggestion to you, Aquarius. There's nothing wrong with needing some guidance. There's nothing wrong with needing help. Anything like that. So we're going to wrap this up with Pisces. Our wonderful Piscean energy. Messages for Pisces. What have we got going on for our wonderful Pisces gang? I have the Knight of Cups. I have the Nine of Wands in reverse. And I have the Five of Swords in reverse. Alrighty. Nine of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Okay. So something that was supposed to be really good for you, that was supposed to come forward, didn't. Alright? And you kind of feel a little defeated by that. And you kind of feel robbed. And let's find out why. What happened with this Knight of Cups? Where'd this Knight? Oh, you end up making you feel like shit right now. Something you should have walked away from that you didn't walk away from. So someone's spying on you. Let's just put that out there. My Knight of Swords in the reverse. This is someone that's spying on you. They're like, I should go forward, but I'm not. I'm gonna pay attention, but they're not gonna know about it. And this person has some regrets. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They feel too. I think this might be second party information right here. This might be the other people. It's either you or them, but I kind of feel like it's them, where there's some regret. Like something happened and you kind of regret it. Like where you felt defeated about it. Like somebody may have come forward and told you they have regret, and you were all beating up yourself about it, and nobody wants me. And now you're like, haha, I don't feel so bad now. Let's clarify that a little bit, though. Yep, you're getting your groove back ever so slightly. But you know what? What they came forward with isn't really... Like, they came forward with some information that just kind of allowed you to heal. Like, their forward movement isn't really anything that's concrete. You got Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Pages are like childlike energy. It's very juvenile. So this is somebody who's like, you know what, I don't want to make something work. I don't really want to do this, but I needed to. And you are like, you know what, I can move forward with that. I can take that and go forward and actually find my strengths again. So, Five of Swords. Ooh, hello. Okay. You got something new coming in for you. Something new. You're not even going to have to work for this. It's already, I think it's already there. If this party is trying to offer you a new relationship, it may not be the most sincere. Just saying. But you know what? This is definitely something. If you want to go back to it because you can't, it doesn't require effort from you. You don't have to improve yourself. That's kind of a shitty reason to go back to something. But I get it. Okay, I get it. But you know what? It really does rob you of more prosperity in your future. It really does. It really does, Pisces. But I think my messages for Pisces has come through along with the rest of my signs. I want to thank everybody who stuck by me tonight in the chat, who sacrificed the end of their Mother's Day to be here to watch some cards flip around and hear me talk about them. I thank you all so, so much. I want to thank all of my moderators. You guys are amazing. You keep my chats amazing every single time. I love you all so, so much. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms that relate as moms, the moms that are not so much moms, everybody who's a mom, Mr. Moms, Fur Moms, everybody gets to be a mom today. If you don't have a mom, I'll be your mom. So I love you all so, so much, especially those that keep coming back every single week and show me so, so much support. You have no idea how much it means to me to see you guys keep coming back in the chats and to tell me that the reading resonated and that it helped guide you through a situation or anything like that. I do this for the sole benefit of others. This literally is, I do these for free. Like it's just my raw talents coming out, and I'm able to kind of guide some people through some situations that maybe they were a little bit foggy with, maybe they just weren't sure. And if this can kind of help you see the betterment of yourself, then I've done my job. But with that being said, I want you all to have a beautiful rest of your evening. For those of you who are joining me in from across the pond, I want you to have the best rest of your day. And I will see you all next week. Take care.